today I show you how I make my drum covers. I will literally show you how I do everything from lighting to mixing to editing to production, all of it. All right, this video is packed with info and you can use it as a tool to start making your own drum covers as well. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and hop right into it. First off, we have lighting. This is always my first priority when I make my covers. Now, lighting in your videos can make a huge difference. For example, compare this to this. Pretty cool, right? The second one looks way better than the first one. So, for my videos, I use 2 LED photography lights on each side of my drums. I got them off of Amazon for not that much, and here's the back of them so that you can see the exact model. So, I turn on the left light and then the right light, and then we're not done yet though. If you watch my videos, you see that I have my LED lights on. They're really cool. Obviously, these are not essential for great lighting. You really just need to have the LED photography lights, but they just add to the effect of great lighting. And a fun fact is sometimes I'll try to match up the color of my LED lights with the cover art of the song that I'm playing in the video. All right, now we've got our complete lighting setup. Now, one thing I want to talk about is with the photography lights. You don't want to have those pointing directly at you or else they will create a shadow behind you, which we don't want. So I like to have them pointing directly at the wall. That way the light will actually bounce off the wall and it just looks way better. All right, next up we have the cameras that I use. Now, I mainly have 3 camera views in my videos. One of those being the Sony ZV-1F, which I'm filming on right now. As you guys might know, I got this for Christmas and it has made a huge difference in the quality of the videos. Now, I like to shoot my videos in 4K 60. The Sony ZV-1F shoots in 4K, but only in 30 FPS. So I film with 1080p on the Sony ZV-1F with 60 FPS. The main view of my videos, that is always the one that's moving and stuff, controlled by my parents or my siblings, shout out to them. That is either an iPhone 14 or 15, depends on who's filming in the day, but I film in 4K 60 on that. And I think the walking around view looks really, really good. And last but not least, we have my GoPro Hero 9. I film in this one on 4K 60, and as you can see, this cardboard little contraption up here, I set it on top of there. And yeah, it looks great. It's an overhead view, and I think it's really helpful for people trying to learn the song. Also, can we take a quick break to look at how cute my dog is? Aww. This is also a good point to tell you guys that I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by Easter. And when I do hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm doing a giveaway. And to enter, you have to be subscribed. So go ahead and click that subscribe button and like the video while you're at it. All right, next we have my recording setup. Now in this video up here, hopefully that thing popped up, I go over the gear that I use in very big detail. The audio interface, the mics, the Logic Pro that I use, the cables, all that type of stuff. I go over that and my specific drums and stuff, obviously, in that video. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already and if you're wondering about it. So the recording setup is very simple. I just need to plug in the USB-C cord to my computer and just pull Logic Pro up on my computer. And I have the mixing template that I've created that I'm gonna share with you guys in April for my special video. So be on the lookout for that. That is going to be the next special video. I'm gonna go into detail on every single drum, the samples, the EQs I have on literally everything so that you guys can do exactly what I do and get the sound that I get. All right, so once the computer is set up, I was all ready to go. In this case, I filmed the video Elohim drum cover by Bethel Music. Came out last week, and I don't know if you saw it. If you didn't, go ahead and check it out. By the way, in this video, for copyright purposes, I'm not gonna actually play music because I don't want this video to get copyrighted and I gotta make money somehow. But anyways, I went ahead and filmed the video, and after that, my next step is airdropping the content from my phone, from the camera, from the Sony, from the GoPro, to the computer to get ready for editing. Now, I like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, while all this stuff is airdropping, I mix my audio. Now, like I said, I have a mixing template, which I spent countless hours on, but now that I have that done, it is all ready to go for every single video that I film, which means I have to just record the audio and then I drag, as you can see as I'm doing right now, I have a natural soundtrack and then a trigger soundtrack. I hold down the option and drag the natural soundtrack from that track to the trigger track, and I do that for every single drum I have, not the overheads, because all my drums get triggered and they're all mixed with natural sound. Again, I'm going to show you guys my mixing template next month, but since I have that, it makes the process really easy. All I have to do is drag it into there. Now, one thing that's very important is I like to listen to the audio all the way through before I export it, because sometimes the triggers in my drums like to go off when they're not supposed to. I'll show you a couple examples right now. So in those examples, you saw me cut and split the audio to make sure that those triggers did not get triggered and that everything sounded smooth. So once I've given it a listen through and everything sounds really good, I'll select everything by doing Command A, and then I'll export everything by doing Command B. This process is called bouncing, and it's basically just putting all of those separate audio file tracks from your drums into one big file. Now, you guys might be wondering, where do the drumless tracks, like the songs, come from in my videos? Well, I made a video about that too, up here in like 2020, 2019, something like that. But the way that I do it is still relevant to this day. I've been doing it the same way for all those years. So that's exactly how I do it in that video, so you can go ahead and check that out. All right, next is my favorite part besides actually playing the drums, editing. Now, I use Final Cut Pro for my editing software. I started off with iMovie, but Final Cut Pro is more advanced, and I got upgraded to it last year. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag the main... Oh, look! She's a little short, guys. She's gonna hang out with us now. All right, where was I? I forget. Oh, yes. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do when I'm editing is I'm gonna drag the main camera view, what I like to call the front camera view, into the timeline in Final Cut Pro. She's sniffing my shoes right now. Oh, now she's sitting down. All right, the next step is I'm gonna line up the recorded mic audio for my drums that we just exported, and I'm going to put that, I'm gonna line that up with the video clip. So this song, Elohim by Bethel Music, is really easy because it has one big hit on the drums that it starts out with. So I can just line up that one big hit with the video clip and the audio to make it line up perfectly. So as I have the video and the drum audio lined up, I'll drag in my drumless song into the timeline. And again, I'm not gonna play it because I don't wanna get copyrighted. I line it up with that big hit at the beginning. Now in this case, you might see two tracks of the song. That's because for this specific song, the drummer actually plays a roll-in pad for the first part, and I wanted to have that in there because I don't have the ability to do that sound by myself. So I wanted to have that in there. I exported a drumless song and then a song with the drums, and then when the drums came in, I just cut out the drumless part. So that's kind of confusing, I know, but like basically, track with drums, when the drums come in, drumless track. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so now we have our main video clip and then the drumming audio and then the song lined up. So the next step is dragging in that second view, which I usually do as my side view. Like I said with the other ones, I'll line it up with that one big hit at the beginning of the song, and then I'll line it up with, I'll fit it to where the bottom clip and the top clip fit in the same time. Then after that, I'll do the same thing with my third view, which is the GoPro overhead view. I'll line that up with all three of them. Next step, once we have all of our video clips into the timeline, is adding an intro. Now, I like to add a subtle blur effect, starting off with like black, and it blurs out slowly to clear. And I like to actually line that up with when the drums come in is when the clear starts. So once I've decided on the intro and I have that in the track there, I'm gonna add in the text. And I like to add the title of the song first, and then the name of the artist or group who performed the song, just to give them credit. And I use a blur effect, but again, you can really use whatever you want. By the way, the font I use for my videos is Bayboss Newbold. Put it up here. And also, if you want to watch this Elohim video, it's on my YouTube channel. I posted it last week, so you can go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. So the next step after this, we have all of our video clips, we have the audio lined up, we have the intro, is actually splitting up into the different views. So what you have to do, and this is very tedious, but you have to go through the song and you're gonna split the clip, raise the opacity. That's basically the process that you're gonna repeat over and over. For example, I wanna start on my main video clip. Okay, so the opacity is 100%. Whatever clip is on top of that, if the opacity is 100% on that, that's gonna overrule the clip on the bottom, if that makes sense. Let's say I wanna switch to my second camera view. I'm going to clip the second camera view, clip it again where I want it to stop, and raise that opacity to 100%. And then that camera view will take over for that period of time. Hopefully I explained that well. If you have questions, just ask me in the comments below. Here's a time lapse of me doing it. You can slow it down if you want, but I'm just splitting the clip, raising the opacity. All right, after we do that, we are done with the video. So we're gonna export it, and here's the settings I use for Final Cut Pro. Again, I export in 4K, 60 FPS, and I use the H.264, I think, file format, and that just lowers it to around 4 to 5 gigabytes of a file, which I think is fine. And a very important thing is, and I'm telling you this because it's happened to me before, my computer has crashed because of all the gigabytes I have on it before. So now what I do is after every single video I make, once it is uploaded to YouTube, I'll just delete it off my computer because I don't really need it again. You can always re-download it from YouTube itself, which is really cool. All right, and once you are done with that, you are done with your video. You can go ahead and upload it to YouTube and then drag in your thumbnail. Wait, I didn't tell you guys how to make the thumbnail. Just kidding. I already planned to tell you how to make the thumbnail. Let's go. First, what I always do is find a good, clear picture. And I like to find that by the timeline in my video, like just dragging through and finding a good frame. And then I'll just export that frame and airdrop it to my phone for editing. But for this specific one, I wanted a really specific photo of like the front, kind of like a 0.5 view almost, like capturing all of my drums and like a big front view from the top down kind of thing. For that, I just took the photo with my Sony camera. So once I did that, I exported it to my phone. First, I used the iPhone photo editing settings and I raised the exposure a little bit and maybe sometimes the sharpness depending on what I'm feeling like. Then after that, we go into PicsArt, which is completely free. I've used it for every single thumbnail I've ever made for my videos, completely free. And it has this really cool tool called Cutout. So basically, I'll have my photo into the PicsArt app and I'll press that cutout tool. It will cut out my body as best as it can. Now sometimes it'll leave in like a symbol or something and you can just erase that with the tool that it gives you. But it'll cut out my body so that we can eventually put the text behind me and me in front of it. So it does its best cutting out yourself. Sometimes you might have to go through and redo it a little bit in some areas, but it does pretty good. And I like to have my sticks in front of the letters as well, which means I gotta go over those sticks like you're seeing right now and trace those with the red there, and then they'll actually be in front of the text as well. And once you finish that, you can actually save that to your phone as a separate photo. And then you'll go back into the photo without the cutout view and you'll add the text. Again, I use the Beboss New Bold font and I like to have the text pretty big so that people can read it in the thumbnail. And I always turn the opacity up 100% and the shadow up 100% as well, with the blur effect as well. After we have done that, we will then add the cutout of yourself again over top of that, which will give you the effect of the sticks in front of the text. And this looks really, really cool. I got so excited when I figured out how to do this. And then after that, most of my thumbnails, I like to add the HDR filter, as you can see what I'm doing right now. And that just gives it a more realistic look, I feel like, and it adds more detail to it. So again, it's up to you if you want to do it or not, but I just think it looks cool. And after that, you are done. Congratulations. You have made your drum cover. You're all ready to go ahead and upload it to YouTube. And you can look at the way I format my titles if you want to do it that way, and my descriptions and stuff like that, but I don't really think that's that important, honestly. Even the tags, the way you do the tags doesn't really matter. Your video will get pushed out to an audience. Best of luck to you creators out there who are also making drum covers, and I hope this video helped you. If it did, make sure to comment below and let me know, and I will check out your channel as well. And again, like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before Easter. I know we can do it, and again, we're doing the giveaway. So, subscribe to enter, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.